And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them.
Have you ever seen someone totally lose their cool when things aren't going their way? Well, that's exactly what happened to actress Rachel Zegler after her movie Snow White turned into one of the biggest flops in Hollywood history. It's hard to believe, but Rachel found herself at the center of a huge disaster. Not just because the movie bombed at the box office, but also because she started doing some seriously wild things on social media. To make matters worse, rumors of possible theater bans started swirling. It all started with the trailer. Snow White was supposed to be Disney's next big hit, but when the trailer dropped, things went downhill fast. People didn't just dislike it, they hated it. The trailer became the most downvoted trailer in YouTube history. People weren't holding back. That's a pretty rough start for any movie, but it didn't stop there. Before the movie even hit theaters, Rachel Zegler was already making some controversial statements that raised eyebrows.
Cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
This wasn't exactly the kind of PR Disney had in mind, and it added to the growing skepticism surrounding the film. So no wonder the reactions to the trailer were brutal. The movie got a pitiful 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, and if you thought that was bad, it got a 1.6 out of 10 on IMDb. On top of that, Metacritic, which also collects reviews, gave it a 1.2 rating. To put it simply, the critics and moviegoers didn't like it at all. For anyone involved in a movie, this would be a major blow. Most people might take a step back, reflect, and maybe reconsider how they promote the movie. But not Rachel Zegler. You'd think that after all this negativity, Rachel might feel a little embarrassed or upset. But nope. Instead, she posted a video on social media where she celebrated herself. Yep, you read that right. Instead of addressing the disaster, she boasted about being in the #1 movie in the world. Now, I don't know about you, but celebrating a movie that's been trashed by almost everyone seems a little out of touch, right?
Please?
For which movie?
Even though the movie was clearly failing, empty theaters and whatnot, Rachel kept posting pictures of herself, acting like everything was just fine. It was as if she didn't realize that the whole world was laughing at her. Instead of trying to save face, she was posting happy, confident pictures like nothing was wrong. And honestly, it made her look like she was completely disconnected from reality. But the real drama began when Rachel posted a video of herself in an empty theater. Yes, she filmed herself in a completely deserted movie theater, watching her own movie, Snow White. She was actually giggling and celebrating, acting like she was the only one who thought her movie was a success. She posted it on social media with the caption, "Look at me, I'm Snow White," as if everything was going great. The problem? There was literally nobody else in the theater. Not one person. The theater was empty, and Rachel was acting like it was full of cheering fans. It was clear to everyone that the movie had bombed so badly that people weren't even showing up to watch it. Instead of realizing the gravity of the situation, Rachel kept laughing and acting like it was a big joke. People online were not impressed. In fact, many thought she was out of touch and completely clueless about how bad things really were. Snow White grossed only $204.8 million worldwide, falling short of its production budget of around $240 to $270 million.
I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
How do you expect to be paid with empty theaters? As you can imagine, this video did not sit well with fans. Social media blew up. People were furious that Rachel was celebrating in an empty theater when the movie had bombed so badly. Some even called it narcissism, because it looked like Rachel was only focused on herself and not acknowledging the movie's failure. And let's not forget the harsh comments that followed.
What you do when you have this narcissistic nightmare trying to ruin a film that you've put hundreds of millions of dollars into.
It wasn't just fans who were angry. The whole industry seemed to be laughing at her. If you look at some of the memes that popped up after Rachel's video, you'll see people mocking her for her cluelessness. One meme even joked about how Rachel's delusion seemed to have no bounds. The video was just a reminder that Rachel Zegler had become the laughingstock of Hollywood, and people couldn't get enough of it.
To everyone who hates when I win, The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
The sad part? Rachel didn't seem to get it. Instead of laying low and maybe apologizing, she kept posting and acting like everything was fine. She was in total denial about how badly her movie had failed, and people were starting to notice. They even started comparing her to a serial killer because of her weirdly happy and manic behavior in the video. People started questioning whether she was actually aware of what was going on, or if she was just living in her own world.
That at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Rachel's meltdown wasn't just a one-time thing. It was a part of a larger disaster for Disney. This movie wasn't the only flop they had been dealing with. In fact, Disney had been struggling with multiple failures in recent years. Snow White was just the latest in a long line of disasters for the company. Not only did this movie tank, but Disney's other projects were also failing to capture the attention of viewers. One of the biggest reasons Disney was in trouble was the rise of streaming platforms like YouTube. According to recent data, YouTube has surpassed Disney in total TV watching in the US. That's a huge blow to a company like Disney, which used to dominate the entertainment world. People were choosing YouTube over Disney, and the numbers were showing it. In fact, YouTube reached 11% of total TV viewing, beating out Disney, which is a pretty big deal. This shift in viewership was a major sign that Disney's traditional way of doing things just wasn't working anymore. And Rachel Zegler's behavior was a perfect example of how out of touch the company had become. Instead of recognizing the changing landscape of entertainment, Disney kept doubling down on their old ways, and it was costing them big time.
Other problem is Disney keeps doing this shit.
Yeah.
They don't care how many times they lose money. I mean, this is...
They're going to learn a lesson on this one, though.
I don't think so. I mean, they're projected to lose between $200 and $400 million on this. I mean, they're not going to learn their lesson.
So what happens next for Rachel Zegler? Well, it's hard to say. After all the drama surrounding Snow White, it's clear that her career is in serious trouble. The movie was a massive failure, and Rachel's response to it didn't help matters at all. In fact, it made things worse.
Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button.
At this point, it looks like Rachel's time in the spotlight might be coming to an end. The memes and jokes about her behavior are piling up, and she's become the punchline of Hollywood's latest disaster. If she doesn't find a way to step back, reflect, and learn from this experience, it could be the end of her career in Hollywood. But Rachel Zegler's story isn't just about one person, it's about the bigger picture of Hollywood's decline. Movies like Snow White and other Disney remakes are getting more and more criticism. People are tired of reboots and remakes that don't bring anything new to the table. And with platforms like YouTube becoming more popular, Hollywood's traditional methods of creating content are starting to look outdated. And with this continuing, they are just going to see empty theaters.
Sound like I hear a couple of people. One, two. Okay. Two.
For now, Rachel Zegler might be living in her own world of delusion, but the reality is that her career is facing some serious challenges. Whether she can bounce back or not depends on how she handles the aftermath of this disaster. Will she learn from her mistakes? Or will she continue down the path of narcissism and self-promotion? Only time will tell. As events unfold, we will give you the highlights, for we do not watch drama on my channel. We live for it.